Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the video. How you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to do a hardware unboxing. Today we have from Lian-Li the Lian-Li Galahad 2 Trinity 360 AIO. As you can see in the background, you might have noticed that my computer case has changed. I'm in the process of doing a new build, and what I like to do is start off with the things that are going to stick around with me for a while. So I'm changing my case, I'm bumping up my power supply, and I'm updating my AIO. So I've gone with the Galahad 2 Trinity only because I've got the original Galahad 240 AIO in this build here, and it served me well. I've had it for many years, and it's still a really good workhorse. So I've gone with the Galahad 2 Trinity. I haven't seen too much about this, so I'm glad we've got it in today to have a look at and do a little unboxing video for you guys. So hope you enjoy, and let's get stuck into it. All right, so the Galahad 2 Trinity has a couple of key features. Most notably, for looks, it's got the 3 interchangeable pump looks that can be customized in L-Connect 3. There is Dazzle Mode, Sinkhole, and Duo Infinity. That should be pretty cool. They've got performance-orientated LPC radiator fans with RPM mode switch controller that is set at 3200 and 3000 RPM respectively. So these are specific to the AIO itself. They are not the same fans as the Lian-Li Unifans Performance 28 versions. That was interesting to me. They are also daisy chainable, so they're pretty close, but they've bumped up the RPM at the higher end to get better performance out of the AIO. This version, the pump motor speed goes up to 4200 RPM. Designed in the pump is a new water pathway, a larger copper plate, and a bigger impeller for better water flow. So an impeller is like a rotor, similar to your washing machine. That's an impeller in the middle there. So it's not just some fancy RGBs and things like that. They've upped the performance, so looking forward to checking out how that looks. I haven't actually looked at this. We're doing this all the first time live on video, so excuse me here. I'm not used to these kind of things. RTFM, always read the effing manual. And there we have it. That's how it's packaged for you. So it's packaged quite snugly. We've got the infinity mirror. That's the dazzle or whatever it is. So that's like a diffused look there. And then we have like another bigger sort of diffuse hole. So you've got a couple of options there, and you can play around with that in L-Connect 3. So part of the reason that I'm upgrading my AIO is just because the original Lian-Li Galahad AIO is just starting to give up a couple of degrees here and there in particularly longer gaming sessions. So I was really happy with the performance, and I've had it for many years. But it's just starting to creep up a little bit, and it's there's a little bit of noise in it. So it works completely fine. I've been playing Diablo 4 all day with it, so it still performs really great. But the opportunity came to do some content, get a new build started. So I thought, why not? There you go. Also comes in, so you've got your you've got all your modern sockets. So you've got AM4, AM5, and you've got your Intel sockets as well. There's a thermal paste applicator, and then there is some RGB things in there for you to play with. So pretty standard. Looks like AM4 connection is going to be almost identical to the original Galahad 240. So happy to see that. So let's take a look at the pump. So there she has it. She's got the traditional Lian-Li pump design on there. The pump block is a lot chunkier and a lot squarer at the back. The back plate is much thicker. Then you've got your fan connections there, and it looks like the fans are already mounted to the radiator, which is interesting. So let's take a look at that. So there you have it. It's a pretty thick boy. So I think these are at 28 millimeters, and it's a double stacked fin stack. You can see the Lian-Li logo is etched in on either side, so it doesn't matter which way you plug it in. And as you can see there, the fans on this bad boy are pre-installed, so it can go straight in. I am going to change the fan, so I am going to keep my Unifans version 1. So a little bit less performance on those these days, but I'm going to put this in a push-pull configuration. So these fans will be up at the top, and then I will have the Unifans pulling up through them. Only reason is because my PC is a showpiece for this show, so I just want to keep the aesthetics. Really, that's the only reason why. I'd probably be happy with the performance, but we'll test it out and have a look. One thing I am noticing is that it looks like these side panels for the fans can be taken off, and I think you can fit RGB panels on there. I won't be doing that. You won't be seeing these fans anyway, but there you go. And then there you go, there's your 45-degree angles there. So that looks pretty good. There we go. All right, so let's get this into the build and we'll see how it performs. Hey, you'll also notice that you've got a low and a medium, a low and a high, sorry, RPM. So I am gonna switch that to high right off the gate. All right, so let's get this thing into the build and we'll see how it performs.
A few moments later.
Okay, we're back. And if you can't tell, guys, I've been through it. So let's get stuck into it. As you know, we turned the camera off to do a quick build in our Lian-Li Landcool 216 to put the Galahad Trinity 2 360 AIO in, but we ran into some problems in installing that. So it's a day later, it's a ton messier, and let's get stuck into why. Alright guys, so me and Spidey want to have a chat about some of the issues that we faced installing these new components. And for anyone that doesn't know, the reason that Spidey is in the background is because when I told my daughter when I filmed the first true episode of Computer Games Hardware that I would be filming after everyone had gone to bed, just so it's nice and quiet. She was worried that I was going to be a little bit lonely, so she snuck Spidey in to keep me company, and I didn't notice. Did the first video, and so Spidey has been upgraded to co-host. All right, let's get stuck into the issues that we had with some of these components. The first thing I want to talk about is the power supply. Okay, so I upgraded from a Corsair 750 watt RMX power supply. I've upgraded to the RMX Shift Series 1000 watt power supply, which is a fully modular power supply. It's ATX3 compatible, so it can take NVIDIA's new cable. So quick tech tip here, whenever you're changing your PSU, always change your power supply cables as well. Use the cables that come with the power supply, because even if they're rated the same and they're different brands, they might have different wire gauges in there, which is part of the reason that I'm in this mess altogether. That's because my 750 watt power supply took these cables, which are 18 AWG, which stands for American Wire Gauge, and they go up to 1000 watt power supply. So I couldn't use these cable extensions anymore, even though I love them, because even though they're rated up to, you want to have a little bit of wiggle room. You don't want your wires melting. So I had to upgrade to the purple and black ones that I've got here. So these are 16 AWG. They're just the pretty basic ones, but these are 16 AWG, which are better. So they're better rated. So the lower it is, the better they are. So these are 16 AWG, and they go up to 1300 watts. Fairly good wire gauge, and they support this power supply, so I needed to do that. But the reason that I need to install these is because this power supply has Gen 5 cables with them, so they are not the same cables that come with your traditional power supply. I will give you an example here. So you can see here, all right, so let's have a look. All right, so sorry, I've called them Gen 5, but on them they say Type 5. So you can see there that they are Type 5 cables. So they are much smaller, and I will let's get another one just to see. So you can see on the CPU cable there, that's the cable that goes into the motherboard there. So that's the standard size. But then you see the Type 5 connection there. It is much, much smaller. Okay, and that's the issue that I ran into. I wanted to get some sleeved cables to better sort out my cable management in the Lian-Li 216, because it's got some really cool channels and things built into it to make cable management super easy. But I couldn't even find any sleeve cables that are Gen 5 or Type 5. So as a stopgap, I've upgraded to these 16 AWG cable sleeves, and I'll have to go to Cable Mod or one of those companies there to get some custom ones made up, so I can just plug them in and have some spare room. So that was the first issue for me. So I thought, well, since I was having these compatibility issues, I might as well swap everything out. And then it meant that the Unifans had to come out, and there was no point in having the controller, because the Lian-Li 216 has a great fan hub in it already, with plenty of room for what I needed. So there you have it. Alright, so as I mentioned before, I ran into a couple of issues doing the push-pull configuration that I originally want to do, and here's why. So you'll see there right in the corner that the extraction fan there, which is a 140 millimeter fan, sort of gets in the way of the cooler there, so it's not able to drop down far enough to get another set of fans at the top there. So originally I wanted to put those fans at the top in pull configuration and have these uni fans in push configuration, but that was not to be. Another issue is that Lian-Li doesn't give you long enough screws to go into the fan through the case and into the rad. So they've got standard fans, but these are not standard size. These are not standard size case fans. They are 28 millimeters. So there's a bit of a gap preventing them, and that means that the screws can't go all the way down into the rad through the top of the case. So that was preventing me from doing a push-pull configuration. But after I installed it, I kind of like the white look with the black motherboard and GPU. So I'm not mad at it. There might be a couple of reasons for that. So they probably don't want you to do like a dual fan push-pull configuration, because at the top of this case, it has a removable frame where you can mount to the radiator. So the reason they might do that is because they don't want the weight of another set of fans causing it to dip, because that's a individual steel piece that you screw in, and it makes up part of the frame. So I'm guessing that's the reason why. A little bit disappointed that I couldn't do that. If they provided the adequate screw lengths for me to do that, I might have considered, changing out the fan, putting another uni fan in there so it hangs down a little bit and things like that. So yeah, that's another thing to consider if you're buying this case. You're limited in the options that you have for mounting a 360 rad. The other issue is that this case also has 160 millimeter fans. Right, so at the front, it's got some custom-made 160 millimeter fans that are the perfect size to get the best airflow in and have it going through to that 140 mil at the back. With those fans in the case, you can't mount the radiator up the front of the case. If you pull the fans out, you can, but then you're sort of defeating the purpose of the case in the first place. So my preference generally is to mount the radiator up at the front, get some cool air coming in, make that a push-pull configuration. But with my big boy GPU here, the XFX 6800 XT is a long boy, so I haven't got the length to put in a push-pull configuration, and it won't allow me to mount the rad behind those 160 millimeter fans. So consideration if you're putting in a 360 rad in the Landcool 216 is you can basically mount it at the top or nothing. You can't mount it at the bottom because there's not enough clearance there. You could screw half of it in, I guess, but you wouldn't want to be doing that. But you're pretty limited in the configuration options you've got in the Landcool 216 if you want to keep the front fans. Another little issue there. You can take the fans out, but then you start messing with the performance of the case. Computer games hardware is about talking about computers, games, and hardware. So I love all this stuff. I'm no reviewer, so seek out the reviews you want if you're looking at the products. But if you're interested in them and you want to know how it performs in my case, then happy to show that for you. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering, how does it perform? Well, a couple of points. Happy to say that the main reason that I purchased this AIO, and it was because of the noise, and it was actually the uni fans that were giving me a bit of grief. So the what I had planned to do is to get the performance from the 360 rad, which is an upgrade from the 240 anyway, and then be able to lower the fan speeds of the uni fans. I've decided to take them out because this thing is performing better than expected, and the noise level is way down. So really pleased to be reporting that. So the noise level is down, and it's staying nice and cool. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed making this one. So as usual, I'll keep making them if you keep watching them, and I'm really happy to invest a little bit more in getting the content that you guys need. So if you like this type of video, please give me a like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you know anyone who might be interested, please let them know. Again, thanks everyone for watching. Big hello to all our new subscribers. Please like, share, and subscribe. And again, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.